So let's look at how we would go about finding an equation of a polynomial in standard form, given its graph. So I want you to find in your packet the page that has number 4 on the top, and it looks like this. Okay, I'm just going to cut out this first graph right here and put it in my notes because I want to come up with an equation. Now, I'm not going to be, or I should say, there are several equations that could have a graph like this. So I'm just coming up with kind of like a general one. We'll look to see how we get less general here eventually. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to determine the leading coefficient or the sign. Let's go 1. Determine the sign. Okay, so since this graph goes down and then up, then I know that the leading coefficient had to have been positive. Okay, so that's the first thing I want to do. The second thing I want to do is find the zeros. Okay, so I just look here. There's a 0 here at 2. There's a 0 here. It's kind of hard to tell. This is at -1. And there's a 0 there, which is at -3. Okay, so now that we have the zeros, we're going to find the factors. So the factors, I would say, well, if 2 is a 0, then x minus 2 must have been a factor. If -1 is a 0, then x plus 1 must have been a factor. If -3 is a 0, then x plus 3 must have been a factor. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then the fourth thing we're going to do is we're going to add in f of x and the sign of the leading coefficient. Now, in this case, the leading coefficient is positive, so it's not going to do anything. But if it was negative, it would be something that would have an effect on this problem. Okay, so now I have it in factored form. So let's make a note of that. And over here, it's saying we want this in standard form. So that means that I have to multiply this out. Okay, so number 5, we're going to multiply to get in standard form. Okay, so I'm going to do x minus 2 times x plus 1. Remember, you can multiply any two of these together at first, so I'm just going to do those two. That's going to give me x squared plus an x minus 2x. Okay, now I'm going to take my solution from that, and I'm going to multiply it by what I have left over right here, which is an x plus 3. And I like to put my x plus 3 up in the front. Let me make this bigger for you guys. Sorry, I should have done that earlier. Okay, x times x squared is x cubed. X times negative x is negative x squared. 3 times negative 2. Okay, I'm going to line up my like terms as I go through this. So when I go 3 times x squared, that's a positive 3x squared. I'm just putting it right under the other x squared. 3 times negative x is negative 3x. Oops. Wait, did I mess up? X cubed wait. Man, I messed up. Okay, x cubed minus x squared minus 2x. Where did I get that 6 from? And I found my mistake because my terms weren't going to line up. Okay, now 3x squared minus 3x. So I can see it's lining up with its other x term. 3 times negative 2. Okay, and then I'm just going to add these up. Now remember that you could just make a big old long line if you want, and then combine your like terms. I kind of find it easier if I line those up as I go. Okay, so there's my solution. F of x is equal to x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x minus 6. Okay. All right, let's try the other one. And so what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video and see if you can do that one from start to finish all by yourselves. And then you can check or you can go ahead. So this is the other one. And try it and then check your answer. Okay? All right. So hopefully you had a chance to check that or to work on this. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to determine the leading coefficient. Okay, so I know since it goes up, down, that the leading coefficient is negative. Okay, that's going to be important. We said the second thing we should do is find the zeros. Okay, there's one at negative 2. There's one at 1, and it is kind of hard to see on this. And there's one at 2. Okay, we're going to find the factors. If negative 2 was a 0, then x plus 2 was a factor. 1 is a 0, then x minus 1 is a factor. 2 is a 0, x minus 2 is a factor. Okay, fourth thing, we are going to add an f of x and the sign of the leading coefficient. So we said it was a negative, so x plus 2, x minus 1, x minus 2. Okay, the fifth thing, we're going to multiply to get it in standard form. Okay, so I'm going to leave that negative alone. I'm going to multiply these two first. So I'm going to first multiply x plus 2 times x minus 1. And that's going to give me x squared minus x plus 2x. So that's plus x. Okay, now I'm going to take the product of that, and I'm going to multiply it by this x minus 2 over here. For me personally, I like the binomial in front of the trinomial. I just find it easier to distribute. Okay, x times x squared is x cubed. X times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. 2 times x squared is 2x squared plus 2x minus 4. So I have x cubed plus 3x squared, no x's, minus 4. Okay, and I still have a minus that I got to put in. So I have minus x cubed plus 3x squared minus 4. So f of x is negative x cubed minus 3x squared plus 4. Okay, so last thing that I want you to do is I want you to try this one on your own. You're going to put it in your notes, then you're going to take a picture of your notes and you're going to upload it I think we're on assignment. I'm not sure what assignment. I'll put it in Canvas. Okay, that's it. Bye-bye.